Yo, what's happening, guys? This is Flo. I'm here with D. So, recent rumor out there is the Los Angeles Lakers could swap Anthony Davis for Phoenix Suns Deandre Ayton. Obviously, Anthony Davis has had his injury concerns, and Deandre Ayton, he's almost kind of in the same boat, but he's a little bit younger. So, D, would you make this trade?
I would not make this trade just because, one, no matter how bad the injuries are with the healthy AD, he's still one of the top 5 best players in the NBA. He's an MVP caliber player, and he can literally do it all. He can dribble, because if you guys don't know his backstory, I believe it was his freshman, sophomore year, he played point guard and shooting guard, and it wasn't until around his junior year that's where he had his massive growth spurt. So he was one of the rare center power forwards who grew up actually with crazy ball handles. And so he could ball handle, he could shoot from the outside, he could play from the inside, and one of his best traits is that he's one of the best defenders in the league. And with Deandre Ayton, he's not a bad player. He's a solid center. He could definitely score. He could defend, but his numbers have gone down over the years. He's only had one good season in 2019, and that was where he averaged about 18 points a game. But ever since then, his numbers have gone down, and that's why I think the Suns never really pulled the trigger or giving him the max contracts, is because he's a good player. He's a solid player, but he's already a couple years in the league, and he hasn't really established a go-to move. He hasn't really shown himself to be the second best player, or a player that could lead a team to the championship. And so that's why I wouldn't, because AD is that type of player where he could change the game. You saw when we just had LeBron, we were barely a playoff contender team. With AD, that made us a championship team. We won the championship with him. And so with a healthy AD, he could literally change the game, because besides Giannis, I would say AD is really hard to be unguardable. There's only I believe just Giannis and Kevin Durant. AD is up there as far as he could literally do it all. Like I said, again, shoot from the outside, shoot from the inside, alley-oop, defend. He could do it all.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty much Deandre Ayton, the only thing worth buying or trading for him would just be that age. But other than that, you hit the nail on the head. Realistically, man, he's just a third option. He's never been a top 2 option on the best team. The year they made it to the finals, it was essentially Devin Booker, Chris Paul. Deandre Ayton vastly improved that season, so that's why they did make the NBA Finals. I'm not going to hate on him completely. But Anthony Davis, man, he's been a number 1 option, and he's been a number 2 option, and he's proven he could do both of those. Even when he was the number 2 option with us, actually, most of that playoff run, he was the number 1 option up until the finals when LeBron James just had that mismatch against the Miami Heat. He just destroyed them, but all prior rounds, AD was actually the guy leading the Lakers to those victories, because he even took out, the Jokic in the Western Conference. Before that, who did we beat? I know we beat Portland, and then the Western Conference final was Denver, but I can't remember who the middle round was against. But he pretty much just destroyed every single team. He was just a matchup nightmare. Nobody could stop.
Oh, it was Rockets.
Oh, yeah, we beat the Rockets. They were kind of small, so that's why he probably had the mismatch. But he just pretty much destroyed that Western Conference side that year. And if he's healthy, I think he could still do that kind of stuff. And then you need that guy for, like you said, if you match up with a Kevin Durant or a Giannis Antetokounmpo, you need a guy who's big but could still move their feet. And AD, when healthy, can't do those things. He's not going to stop those two guys, because those guys are pretty much unguardable, but he can make it tougher on them.
Yeah, and also over the years, so with AD, he's also a guy that you just kind of want in the locker room, just because, as much as I know you don't like Kentucky, what John Calipari taught his players is sacrifice. As much as Boogie Cousins hated it, he taught his players to listen, it's about the team first and making sacrifices, because every play matters in basketball, and it's about the teamwork to help win a championship. And so with AD, you've seen, he's made tons of sacrifices, and he literally would do it just to win the championship. And with Deandre Ayton, man, there's a lot of things that I don't like from him, man. He bitching about money, bitching about playing time, bitching about getting the ball. And it's just like, man, like, that's not really a player in the future like I would want around my team. You know, we already had a fucking Andrew Bynum, a guy who thought he was like a MVP star. And then when he left the Lakers, he didn't really amount to anything. And so that's why it's just like, also, you want to, like I said in past videos, you want to build a culture. You want to build a championship culture team. And AD's the guy, like, after LeBron leaves, that's a guy I want as a leader, a guy I want in the locker room, because he's gonna, no matter what, he doesn't even care about the whole scoring. He even said when LeBron, when he first came to the Lakers, he wanted to be the defensive player. And so that's a guy that just, like, he wanted to amp up our defense and, like, do what we can to, like, win. And so I wouldn't get rid of AD for shit.
Yeah, and obviously we're Laker fans, so people are going to say we're biased. However, we're just basketball addicts in general. Actually, this guy's brother is a big old Phoenix Suns fan, so we know what we're talking about when we're talking about Ayton, because we actually have to watch a lot more Suns games than we'd like to watch. So we've seen him. Like I said, he's a good player, pretty good rim defender, but he's a third option in my book, and obviously AD's first, second option. So no way I make that trade. One
last thing, also, when I threw out his numbers, also, you guys got to remember, when his numbers for points per game started going down, mind you, those numbers started going down when Chris Paul came into, like, on the Suns team. So think about it this way: if he's already having down numbers with Chris Paul there, imagine when he has LeBron there passing him the ball, you know? Because Chris Paul is, like, one of the best point guards in the league, gets everybody involved, but that just kind of shows you, like, the inconsistency, you know, and him not developing, like, his game. Again, I've seen him, like, play multiple times. He doesn't have a go-to move. All his shots pretty much come from, like, rebound. And so that's, like, another thing to look at is how is it going to fit with the Lakers? Because, again, we're, like, a fast-going team, and LeBron likes to get everyone involved. So if he already has, like, bad numbers going down with Chris Paul, that's, like, kind of like a sign right there as well.
And not just the offensive numbers, but that Dallas Mavericks series kind of highlighted his weakness guarding perimeter players. The freaking Mavericks pretty much killed them because he couldn't guard that three-point line. AD can't still guard that three-point line. He goes out there, like you said, that year we won the championship, he was pretty much the best defensive player in basketball. He didn't win the Defensive Player of the Year award that year. He should have. But essentially, he was going out there, getting game-winning blocks at the three-point line, meeting guys at the rim, and Ayton can meet guys at the rim, but I don't think he can go out there and move his feet quite like an AD. So I still stick with AD at the end of the day.
Yeah. He's young, so I still think, like, he's got definitely time to turn it around and change. But for right now, just like today, I would not trade AD.
All right. Well, you guys let us know in the comments what you guys think about Deandre Ayton for Anthony Davis. Would you guys do it? Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all next time. Peace.